A while ago, someone requested me to make this plushie, and so I did, so here it is. So first of all, I looked up a reference for the character, and I came up with this design for the plushie. It's just a gray base with a bunch of embroidery. The first thing you're going to want to do is to screenshot these patterns and crop them so they fit a full page, then print them and cut out each piece. Be sure to use the drawing I made for the plushie as a reference to which pieces need to be cut out of what color. Once you've sewn the two pieces together, turn it inside out and sew along the bad side. Make sure you keep the seam from the leg piece around a ½ inch above the bottom of the body piece. Next, sew the bottom piece to the body and the leg. Repeat this for both of the legs. Sew the arm piece the same as the legs and attach it the same way as well. Then, either sew or embroider the red heart piece on with some red thread. Next, cut out a bunch of black pieces of felt to look like this and embroider around them with a white embroidery thread. I do want to keep this video short, so if you don't know how to embroider, there are a bunch of other YouTube videos on how to do it. This is what the embroidery should look like once finished, but you can really make the cracks go in whichever direction. Next, you're going to want to sew the two back pieces together and then sew them to the bottom piece, using the seam as a guide to put it in the center of the bottom piece. Turn the body piece inside out and stuff it. Now to get started on the head, the first thing you're going to want to do is cut out all the pieces and sew up all the darts. This way, you will only have to worry about sewing the pieces together and not about the smaller seams. When you sew a piece that has two sides and an outer layer, always sew the outer layer to one side first. This way you won't have to worry about sewing through the fabric on the other side. Now you're going to do the same thing that we did with the arms and the body, and sew a crack into the ear with the embroidery thread. An easy way to sew the ears in are to put them in the seam with the head. So place them down with the front of the ear facing the front of the face, and then sew along the edge with the face piece and the back piece put together. Once you've done that, take the two mouth pieces and sew them together. Then, the pieces should fit like a puzzle. The cheek pieces that are larger go along the curved side of the face, and the mouth piece goes in the center of the face. To give the nose more shape, I'm going to add a piece of fabric on the back and then stuff the nose individually from the head. This is optional, but I decided to add a piece of fabric to the bottom of the head so I won't have to worry about stuffing going everywhere when I sew the pieces together. This is also optional, but I decided to use a running stitch around the body so the stuffing wouldn't go everywhere. Now you're going to want to sew the body to the head with a ladder stitch. For the nose piece, just cut out a circle and sew it on and then stuff it, and then for the bow tie, just cut out a piece and sew it onto the torso piece. For the eyes, use a running stitch around the circle piece and pull it tight once you're done. Then, lightly stuff it and then attach the head using the ladder stitch. For the eye details, you could either use hot glue or sew, but I hot glued it since it was easier. I decided to do more embroidery work on the back, even though you might not see it that much. And here it is once it's done. It took around 15 hours to finish, I think, but I think it turned out pretty good.